What child doesn't want to be normal? To look normal, to think normal, to act normal. Not every child, however, is born normal. Take, for example, 2-year-old Maddox McKintic. She's one of the 5,000 children that WebMD reports is born each year in America with Down syndrome. She could have been our cousin, she could have been our niece, she could have been our sister, or she could have been our future daughter. Down syndrome is one of the most common birth defects that strike children each year. So today I want to take some time to talk a little about Down syndrome, and specifically its causes, its diagnosis, and its treatments. So first off, in discussing Down syndrome, we have to understand its causes. WebMD explains that Down syndrome is a set of physical and mental traits that is caused by a gene problem present before birth. In most cases of Down syndrome, children are born with 47 chromosomes in the cells of their bodies instead of the normal 46. What this means is that they will have problems in the development of their body and brains. The U.S. National Library of Medicine explains that most cases of Down syndrome are caused by trisomy 21, and this is when there is an extra chromosome 21 in the cells of a child's body. So we can see here that in most cases of Down syndrome, it is caused by the presence of an extra chromosome that affects the way that the child's body and brain develops. So in discussing Down syndrome, aside from its causes, we also have to look at its diagnosis. So because Down syndrome is caused by an extra chromosome that's present even before birth, it can be diagnosed during pregnancy. Doctors can diagnose Down syndrome with screening and chromosomal testing. The type of screening that doctors can have done on a mother include maternal serum triple screen and an ultrasound. With the maternal serum triple screen, the doctor will take a sample of the mother's blood and look at substances within the mother's blood and estimate the chances that the baby has Down syndrome and other health problems. With an ultrasound, the doctor will look for a thickness in the back of the baby's neck, which is a sign of Down syndrome. As for chromosomal testing, the doctor can either do a chorionic villus testing or a amniocentesis. With a chorionic villus sampling, the doctor takes a sample of the cells from the placenta and looks for abnormalities in the number of chromosomes within the cells of that sample. With amniocentesis, the doctor will take a sample of the amniotic fluid that is surrounding the baby and test for Down syndrome within that fluid. So we can see here that even though Down syndrome is a very complex disease, screening such as maternal serum triple screen and ultrasound, and chromosomal testing such as chorionic villus sampling and amniocentesis can all be used to catch and diagnose the illness early. Finally, in discussing Down syndrome, we also have to understand the treatments that are available. So the National Institute of Child Health and Human Development explains that though there is no cure for Down syndrome, children who suffer from Down syndrome can benefit from speech therapy, occupational therapy, and physical therapy. So even though Down syndrome is a very harsh disease, when it's properly addressed and treated with speech therapy, occupational therapy, and physical therapy, the children that are suffering from the illness are able to live more productive lives that are closer to normal. So Down syndrome causes its victims to suffer both physically and mentally. It's a very distressing illness that strikes thousands of children such as Maddox each year. By having a better understanding of how an extra chromosome present before birth causes Down syndrome, how how screening and chromosomal testing during pregnancy can detect Down syndrome, and how speech therapy, occupational therapy, and physical therapy can help treat those with Down syndrome, we'll be able to better recognize and help those millions out there who have Down syndrome. So one day when we do run into one of the million children out there who are suffering from Down syndrome and who may not be born normal, we will be able to better understand and give them the help that they need to live more productive and closer to normal lives.